Also, Andrew Tate constantly lies to his fans, okay? He's been saying for years, like, oh, this case in Romania is falling apart, there's no evidence against him, they got nothing, or sometimes even saying the case is dismissed, okay? And he's lying, and he says there's no victims, or that he's friends with all the victims, and he's lying, okay? And so many of his fans just believe it and keep repeating his lies over and over again. And sometimes it's quite frustrating because some of this stuff, it is easily proven that it's lies. Andrew Tate takes his fans as idiots because he thinks that they won't do even the bare minimum research. And sadly, he's proven right. They either don't do the bare minimum research or they completely dismiss any evidence, even when it's overwhelming evidence. Like, even when it's Andrew Tate's own voice in a telephone conversation and it's been verified that this is definitely Andrew Tate's own voice, you still get some of his fans saying, it's AI, it's AI. They just, I don't know whether they're lying to defend him or whether they really believe it and are in denial. I don't know. But yeah, he's constantly lying to his fans. But also, like, a lot of his fans as well, they don't think about the fact that, like, he constantly contradicts himself. Like, one minute he's talking about how his case in Romania has been completely dismissed, and then another minute he's talking about how I'm going back to Romania for his bail thingy that he has to sign every month or whatever. He says, because I don't run away like a coward, even though, like, he has run away, but still, well, doesn't his fans, like, question this? Like, he's told you one minute that his case is dismissed, and then the next minute he's contradicting himself, okay? And it's like, why don't you realise this?
But I've done nothing legally wrong, because if I did, I'd be in jail. And Romania is probably the easiest place to possibly go to jail. And I'm not in jail, and they can't put me in jail. And their own judges keep letting me out. So this is a process which is taking a long time. That's true. But primarily now it's because of their elections. It's the reason they won't let me go. If it wasn't for the elections, I'd already be out of here. So I'm happy to actually answer some questions. If anyone has a good faith question, I'm happy to answer one or two of them. But I am just truly, I want to thank everybody for dedicating your lives to my criminal case. I mean, me personally, I'm busy getting rich, so I don't give a fuck about any of your criminal cases. I don't know who you are, what cases you're going through. I got shit to do. So,
All right,
like any of you
Andrew,
could
Look, he's growing some
yeah,
balls. Holy shit.
hold on. One second. So appreciate you coming on the panel, Andrew. We got Murder by Crayons who wants to pose a question. So Crayons, go ahead.
Yeah, nice.
Pedophile.
Yeah. Speaking of pedophiles, you've been charged with raping a 15-year-old in the ass. That's why you're on house arrest, and you're lying to your fans, and you know it. And you know it.
Hello, friend.
So yeah, let's talk about
You're probably
pedophiles.
one of my most. You're one of my most dedicated fans. I haven't been charged with that.
You have
crime,
been charged.
firstly.
I have the documents. I have the documents. You've been charged.
Secondly, no, I've not been charged in the second.
You have been charged. I understand.
Yo, one
law,
at a
you've been
time, bro. One at a
charged.
time. Let him finish.
You haven't been indicted. You have been charged.
Stop lying, Andrew.
Wait, guys. Hold on. One second. We're gonna keep this cordial. Andrew, you're gonna make a point, and then we're gonna go to Crayons. We're just gonna keep this cordial, so we can make this fair. But Andrew, you're welcome to make a point, and then we'll go to Crayons. It's a double
Go
mute.
ahead.
So
Go ahead, Andrew. Gather your thoughts.
Yeah, guys, just keep this cordial. If it's fighting over, it's not gonna make the experience as good. So, Andrew, go ahead.
So he's checking with his attorneys right now to figure out how to handle this. So in Romania, so Andrew has been charged for sex acts with a minor who is 15 years old in the second case. He's not been indicted, but he has been charged. He's also been charged with trafficking a minor for allegedly putting a 17-year-old girl on webcam. Through letters rogatory, her home country has confirmed her age, and My Free Cams also confirmed when she created the account. So he has been charged. He's using the complexity of Romanian law to lie to everyone, to make them believe his case has been dismissed. He hasn't been charged. He's being held against his will. He's still under judicial control from the first case because it has not been dismissed. The prosecutor's rewriting the indictment. The second case is still under investigation, and he's under house arrest specifically for the 15-year-old that they're alleging that he had sex acts with, repeated sex acts.
You are so full of shit.
I've got the documents, Andrew. I've got the documents.
You
That
are
that all you
so
got,
full
Andrew.
of shit. This
Prove-
fucking loser has dedicated
Prove it.
3 years of his life to
Prove it.
me.
Prove it. Prove it.
He can leave his house, Andrew.
I am gonna walk and he is gonna fucking cry. And it's gonna be the greatest day. And you know
Yeah.
what? I know things he doesn't know, and I'm gonna walk a lot sooner because I've done nothing wrong. The first
Yeah.
case was thrown out. You keep
Been saying
reading
that
off
for
a
3
piece
years.
of paper that a judge has already thrown out. You
It
dummy.
hasn't. They haven't thrown out anything, jackass.
You're
They
lying.
haven't thrown out anything.
Fucking pedo,
This is
bro.
going to be a great day. Gentlemen,
Oh, it is.
all the women at home who are talking about me and saying maybe I have blackmail on important people, I know I'm a boss. I know you all want me. You can DM me anytime.
Andrew, quick question. Can you just confirm? So there was people making claims saying there's extradition cases that you've got in the UK. Just to confirm, in terms of Romania, this is the only case that you currently have. I think it's connecting.
There's a common statement that's being made right now coming from, generally speaking, Andrew Tate supporters, as well as I think the Tate brothers, about how the Romanian charges were dropped. Is that the case?
No, they've never been dropped. The case is ongoing. And this is an important point because the Tate brothers have said multiple times that the case is dismissed, yet now they acknowledge it's not dismissed, and then they claim they're going to return for a court hearing. So why do they continuously lie about easily verifiable facts? I think that should cause everyone pause and to be somewhat skeptical, because either the case is dismissed or it's not. They've said it multiple times that it's dismissed, and now they're saying it's not dismissed. So why are they lying? And no, it's not dismissed. There's two separate investigations. The first, which involves Jane Doe and Mary Doe, that had gone all the way to the pretrial stage, and now, because some evidence was excluded for procedural reasons, the court sent it back to the prosecutor to redo that indictment. But there's also a second investigation, including 35 victims, including 2 minors. So both of
In
those,
Romania.
In Romania. So both of those are ongoing, and we'll just see a new indictment.
Will they be going to trial, those cases?
Well, we'll see, right? It'll go through the process of... The thing about Romania, too, is they allow every single court decision to be appealed. So the Tate brothers have appealed every single minute court hearing and decision. So that's a clear delay tactic. They keep acting like this is taking so long because there's no evidence. No, it's taking a very long time because you've appealed every decision. You have a right to do that. That's okay. But don't then say that the delay is caused by a lack of evidence or the prosecution when you are the one disputing every single court decision. So it'll go through, there'll be another indictment, it'll go through the pretrial stage, which happens here too, where you examine the methods by which the evidence was obtained. Was it all done through due process in the correct way? If some things were, great, they stay in. If some things weren't, those would be excluded. And then trial's ready to go on all the evidence. It's already been examined. So then you would just go through the trial with that evidence.
One of the ongoing statements, or the statement that's been made, I've heard multiple times from the Tates, is that there are not victims, or that if there were victims originally called victims, they have since recanted and said we're not victims. We fully agreed to do the TikTok or the OnlyFans or whatever. Is that the case?
No. And again, when they say an absolute statement repeatedly, there are no victims. Andrew has said there's not one victim, not one woman has said that I've done anything wrong or accused me of a crime. That's an absolute statement, and he says it with such force. So if that's not true, then people should be alarmed. Why would you be okay with being lied to? And so the truth is, and this is indisputable, is that there are many victims. Now, some of the victims that are named in the criminal case, like Yasmina, who said, I wouldn't leave you even if I found out you're a serial killer. Well, she says she's not a victim, and the prosecution is still treating her as a victim, which I think is correct, because trafficking is being caused to engage in commercial sex act with fraud and coercion. If they found that the entire pretense of her working on OnlyFans was through lies and that Andrew Tate has kept all the money, whether she's okay with that or not doesn't change the fact that it was exploitive. But on the other hand, many victims have given testimony. Jane Doe is primarily a witness, right? She was there for a week. But Mary Doe gave detailed testimony about the sexual abuse she suffered. Many of the victims in the remaining case, I've read their testimony. Andrew met her in London, and she was a new Christian, a very innocent young woman. And Andrew had actually first reached out to her on Instagram because she liked a post of his on traditional family values, traditional values, and she liked that. And so he reached out to her, messaged her, and they met in person in London. And so he specifically connected with her on her desire to have marriage and family, Christian values, traditional values. You know, he lied to her about believing in those things and believing in God. And so their relationship escalated very quickly. He said he was going to marry her. And so he asked her to come to Romania, and she came. But then when she came, all of the little cracks in the story started to show, but he kept lying. So he kept saying that he was only in a relationship with her and they were going to get married. But meanwhile, he is simultaneously in very serious relationship with another woman and also numerous other women. But particularly, there's another woman he was saying the same very serious things about getting married and having children at the same time. And they're living in a house together. So that woman knows Mary Doe is brought here and is obviously not happy and treating her badly. And Mary Doe doesn't know what to believe because Andrew Tate's telling her, oh, just ignore that woman, you know, she's crazy kind of thing. And then meanwhile, he's pushing her boundaries and pushing her boundaries. So he's telling her to take sexual pictures with these other girls. She's saying, I'm not attracted to women. I don't want to do that. I don't believe in that. He's sending her Bible verses about obeying your husband. And so, he tells her it's not about, you know, doing sexual things with other girls. I just want to see that you obey me. I want to see that you'll do something you don't want to do for me. So that's how he was manipulating her and slowly pushing her to do more and more things where she's now taking sexual pictures, engaging in sexual activity with these other women. Ultimately, he really coerces her into a threesome, these other women. And she immediately after is sobbing and hysterical and distressed. And she had to get drunk beforehand and all this. And he knows all.
And I want to get your thoughts on this clip from that interview with Tucker Carlson.
Are you charged with?
That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos to steal the money from the TikTok views.
Recruiting girls to make TikTok videos and stealing the money. So it's really a financial crime?
First of all, just curious your take on that. Is that what he's charged with, the head of a crime group to make girls do TikTok and take money?
No, he's charged with forming an organized crime group to sex traffic women, and he's charged with rape.